Hello everybody and welcome back. Zodyrus here, bringing you part, I don't know, 8, 9, somewhere around there of my Pokemon X and Gale Let's Play. So, it has been 2 days since I recorded the last video, hence why I'm confused as to where this fits in the lineage of videos, so to speak. But I did a little bit of tinkering with the settings as well as the settings of my computer in general. I also, you'll know by the aspect ratio that I also reduced the video quality. Now I know that 1080p is like the standard, or at least 720p is the standard, and I do try to have my videos recorded at 720 or better when at all possible, but to avoid excessive lag when it comes to my Let's Plays, I'm most likely going to have to keep the frame rate down, or keep the quality down so as to keep the frame rate down. So, also, I'm a minute in, and I've only used 54 megabytes compared to the usual, which is like, what, like almost half a gig by now? So, unfortunately, the video quality will be lower, but I hope that that is still okay with most of you guys out there, which, you know, I could probably just make it to where the actual recording is slightly lower and then run it through my video editor and export it into 720 or 1080. I could probably do that too. Now, I know there is no substitute for quality source imagery and all that, but frankly, I would rather increase the visual fidelity post-production than during production. Honestly, I was just getting fucking sick and tired of goddamn crashing and lagging. So here's hoping that the minor changes kind of help a bit. But anyway, enough of the technical jargon. What am I doing here? So, I figure we'll kind of continue on with some of the topics I've been bringing up in recent videos. That's my phone making beeping noises. Why? Okay. So why don't I go ahead and just kind of create like a discussion board here. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and... Okay, so I brought up the little Pokemon app on my phone. By the way, this is the guy that has the Shadow, Growlithe, and Paris. So if I wanted to switch Houndoom, he's the guy I would steal it from. I think I might switch out Houndoom. Excuse me. Houndoom has higher special attack, but has either lower or equal of every other stat to Arcanine. Although Houndoom's dark coverage does give it a good bit of utility, Arcanine can also use Crunch via Egg move. Not in Gen 3, but in Gen 4, but either way. Or no, it can use it in Gen 3, I think. Can't remember exactly. Plus, its flamethrowers are slightly weaker, but it also has a much higher attack stat to go with it. And it can still use Crunch, Flamethrower, and Hidden Power Grass. And then the Sludge Bomb, which isn't really that good of a move in this game anyway, because it's only good against grass types. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have something stuck on my tooth. Anyway. But, Arcanine also carries Intimidate, which is a far better ability than Early Bird. They both have Flash Fire, but Intimidate is much better, so it actually shores up Growlithe's or Arcanine's defense stat. Now, Arcanine and Houndoom do share the same special defense stat of 80, but Arcanine has a 30-point increase over Houndoom on its defense stat. See, Shadow Blitz did quite a bit of damage there. But with Arcanine, it probably wouldn't do that much damage, comparatively speaking. Like if I go over here to my app real quick. Go Arcanine. Plus, I don't really have any Gen 1 Pokemon on my team besides Vaporeon. Yeah, Arcanine's stats are distributed from HP to speed, 90, 110, 80, 100, 90, or 80, and 95, which is definitely a much better stat spread to Houndoom's, which, if memory serves me correctly, is 75, 90, 50, 110, 100, or 80, and 95. So Houndoom and Arcanine have the same special defense and speed stat, and Arcanine has 10 points lower special attack, but everything else Arcanine has is better than Houndoom's. Just kind of going by move pools here. Houndoom, it's pretty much limited to... Oh, here's a good time to use my hidden power. Houndoom is pretty much limited to its stab coverage moves in fire and dark moves, and it also has access to Solar Beam and the various hidden power types, and then, of course, Sludge Bomb and Shadow Ball, but that's not much besides that. And even in later generations, if I go by the current ruling that I'm going with giving Pokemon access to moves in this game that they get access to in later gens, even if I use that rule set, Houndoom will still be at a disadvantage over Arcanine, because Arcanine gets access to Close Combat, but Close Combat is a Generation 4 exclusive and beyond move, so I can't use that. Although I could use Superpower, even though it doesn't get it. But that'd probably be a little bit too cheating. I really should have used Flamethrower and Sun Thunderbolt on the opposite Pokemon. But, in that event, Arcanine also gets Aerial Ace in this game. It gets access to Outrage in later generations, Generation 4 and onward. I already mentioned Crunch. Thunderfang's not a move in this game, so it obviously isn't going to get access to something like that. It gets access to Rock Smash, though that's not a good move at all, so I don't really count that anyway. It also does get access to some other moves. Let me see. It also gets access to Solar Beam, just as Houndoom does. It gets access to Bulldoze in Generation 5, though there's no real Generation 3 equivalent to that outside of Earthquake. And then it also gets Iron Tail and Iron Head, Dragon Pulse, you know. It has a different learn set. I know it gets Dragon Breath in Generation 2, but it never gets it again. So I could technically put Dragon Breath on it. That would technically count as another move option. What am I doing? Okay. But yeah, I'll probably swap out Houndoom for Arcanine, just because Arcanine has a better everything, basically. I mean, the only thing Houndoom has over Arcanine is a slightly higher special stat. And it also has dual stabs instead of a singular fire stab. But I already have my Gen 2 Pokemon in Ampharos. I kind of want to put 2 Gen 2s, 2 Gen 3s, and 2 Gen 1s on this. Or maybe 1 Gen 1, 2 Gen 1s, 1 Gen 2, and 3 Gen 3s. Did you follow that? I'm thinking about putting Larvitar on the team. Still debating whether I'm going to do that, though. Also, definitely decreasing the video fidelity is really, really helpful. Because I'm seeing a much, much improved performance. It does pain me that I have to do that with my current rig, but, I mean, oh well. Oh well, you know, it's not really a big deal. I've yet to have a single person on my channel since I started doing direct capture for all of my games. I've yet to have a single person say, oh, that's you know, it's not 1080p, so I'm gonna dislike this video. Or I've really had no at all complaints even when I was doing videos based with my video camera eons ago. I still haven't had anybody fucking look at my stuff and be like, dude, your stuff is shit because it's not in HD. Like, motherfucker, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can see everything on screen and it's not all pixelated. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't have a fucking, you know, $2,000 computer rig. I wish I did, but I don't. That is something that I'm actually going to be working on getting. Well, not a $2,000 rig, but a high-performance emulation build. Me and my brother are hopefully going to have enough money by the end of the month to get ourselves well, the end of March, I should say, because it's the 12th of March as I'm recording this. But we should have enough money to get a decent rig that I can modify. Hopefully give us Well, give me, because I know he wants it, but I gotta get it first. Who's the IT guy, motherfucker? Anyway, I don't even know if you guys can even fucking hear me properly. I just kind of lower the volume of the fucking game. See if my voice comes through a little bit clearer now. I can hear clearly now, the static is gone. Yeah, definitely have Ampharos as one of my finals. It's always a hard sell for the last member of my team. Because on the one hand, I want to use, you know, something like Tyranitar, something like Flygon, you know. Flygon is hard to put on the team, though, because of the fact that it needs Earthquake as a stab move, unless I gave it Hidden Power Ground. And it's a Levitator, and I have nothing else on my team that is a Flying type or a Levitator. So it's going to have to substitute for something. Oh, paralyzed you, bitch! I don't know. Because I know the rest of the Shadow Pokemon, and I always like having my entire team prepared before I go to Zodyrus Gale. And Zodyrus Gale is the next place we are going to. Ow, my ankle. I'm gonna look up Shadow Pokemon list. Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon. Wait, they have Shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go? Ha! I'm sorry if that's news to nobody except me, but... Wow. Oh, wait, no. Oh, it's supposed to come out on the 2nd of March, huh? Ah, interesting. I don't play Pokemon Go, as you can see, so I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyway. Let me see. Shadow Pokemon list, please. List. Alright. Ugh. This is a hard one. I could hit it with Hidden Power Ice. Or just bomb it with Thunderbolt and crunch it up. Yeah, apparently they introduced fucking Shadow Pokemon in Pokemon Go. That is really weird. I would not have guessed that, honestly. I would not have guessed they were gonna put Shadow Pokemon in anything ever again. So, does that mean we'll get a Pokemon X Gale Darkness sequel, maybe? Please? Pretty please with sugar on top, I'd appreciate it. I'd go fucking bonkers for a goddamn Pokemon X Gale Darkness sequel. Or a remake. I'd fucking explode into a billion pieces if I saw a remake of it. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, I'm sorry. I was like distracted by everything else. I'm trying to freaking look up a list of Shadow Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon. Okay, fuck you, Bulbapedia. You don't want to fucking cooperate with me. Then fine. We'll just have to go to Cerebi and see if they fucking want to work with me here. There we go. So as far as Pokemon in X Gale Darkness that I would actually want to use, I mean, we already have my Eevee. I already have Houndoom, of course, Ampharos. Gardevoir, which is obviously a final member. Growlithe, which could be a final member. But then everything else is on Zodyrus Gale. After I capture Hypno and Primate from the last guy here, then we're going to be going with Golduck, Sableye, Raticate, Dodrio, Farfetch'd, Altaria, Kangaskhan, Bayonet, Magmar, Pinsir, Macargo, Rapidash, Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, Lickitung, Scyther, Chansey, Solrock, Starmie, Electabuzz, oh sorry, scratch that back up, to Chansey. And then Solrock, Starmie, Electabuzz, Swellow, Snorlax, Poliwrath, Mr. Mime, Dugtrio, Manectric, Salamence, Marowak, and Lapras are all boss Pokemon along with the final ones, which are obviously Lugia, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Rhyhorn, Tauros, and Exeggutor. And then Dragonite, which is post-game. So yeah, not a lot of great options here, actually. A lot of the roster doesn't evolve, and there's not a lot of type diversity either. A lot of Gen 1 and Gen 3 and a couple Gen 2s here and there. You know, like, we got Tangela here. Like, if this was Gen 4, maybe I'd get Tangela, but even then, even though Tangrowth is a very good Pokemon, I don't like its design, so therefore I don't like it. Although Tangrowth's really high attack, defense, HP, and special attack cannot be denied, though. I don't know. I could go something else. I mean, Flygon and Aggron are about my best bets next to Tyranitar. But if I go Tyranitar, I'm going to have to, like... I don't know. I'm going to have to hack it in, firstly. I'm going to have to hack it in. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to get it right now for some reason. Let me see. In-game trades. Duking. I kept calling Duking Dakum. Oh, man. But yeah, I could probably go Flygon or Tyranitar. I like to go Tyranitar a lot of the time. If I go Tyranitar, it's definitely going to be a special-based Tyranitar. Well, I mean, with Rock Slide, of course, but for the most part, it's going to be special-based. Oh, I probably mentioned this in another video, probably my Coliseum playthrough, but if you're ever wanting to take care of Wobbuffet without worrying about either Mirror Coat or Counter, the best course of action to do is to use a Dark-type Pokemon and use a special-based move on it, so that way if he uses Mirror Coat, it'll do nothing to your Dark-type Pokemon, because Mirror Coat's second move. And on the other side of the coin, if he's going to use Counter, then your best bet is to use a Ghost-type Pokemon with a physical move, because Wobbuffet, using Counter, which Counter is a Fighting-type move, cannot do any damage back. Or, you know, you could always go with a Dark Ghost-type Pokemon and basically render Wobbuffet irrelevant. I'm surprised that Wobbuffet became Uber in Gen 3 because Sableye is a perfect counter for it. It is a literal perfect counter. The definition of a counter in their like the tier lists or whatever is a Pokemon that can switch out and then come back in to do that, and because of that, Wobbuffet violates what it means to be a perfect counter. I don't care. The point is, you put a fucking Sableye in a battle with a Wobbuffet, that Wobbuffet ain't gonna be able to do jack shit. Because it's both immune to Counter and Mirror Coat. And it's also immune to Struggle, because Struggle calculates as a normal type move when damage is dealt. So there's nothing that a Wobbuffet can do to a Sableye or a Spiritomb. And yet, oh, there's no perfect counter. Sure. Even if you get it using Safeguard, I mean, you could just Sableye, and oh, you could use Encore. Okay. Well, Sableye, Shadow Ball, or Feint Attack, stab coverage on both moves, and 4, maybe 5 hits maximum, and he's dead. So again, what's the problem? Okay. If I use Aggron, I'm going to have to use... if I use Aggron, I'm probably going to have to get rid of Earthquake on her. Replace her with another move. Trouble is, I don't really know what else I could give Aggron that would work for it. But if I use Tyranitar, I could also use Aggron without Earthquake. That does leave me 2 Pokemon that are quad weak to fighting moves. And one that's quad weak to ground, along with my fucking Ampharos and either Arcanine or Houndoom, which will also both be weak to ground type moves. So ground and fighting type moves are going to be my biggest problem. Then again, I'm catching mostly Shadow Pokemon, which use Shadow moves, and so they're already doing super effective damage. And on top of that, for the most part, most of these trainers don't know what the fuck they're doing anyway. It could be far worse, after all. Although I am getting a little annoyed that I'm getting very close to one-hit KOing these motherfuckers, and I'm not doing it. So many Master Balls, so little time. I don't know. It really is down to those three. It's like Flygon, Aggron, or fucking... Flygon, Aggron, or Tyranitar. It's really down to them, because I really don't want to use a Grass type. And the only Grass type that is in the game that I would even think about using would probably be Shiftry. And I don't really like Shiftry that much. Plus, it's also not very strong. Not that strength has to be the only factor here, it's just, it's not strong. Maybe I could switch it up and use something different? I don't know. I could go with Crobat and Flygon, maybe? That way I have a Flyer plus an Earthquake user. But then I'd have to always pair up Flygon with Crobat to avoid damaging my party. Oh, right, I forgot that I fucking Breloom in my party. I totally forgot about that. Let's see what Breloom here can do anyway. Rock Tomb, Hidden Power, Ghost, or Ground. Giga Drain for rock coverage, and then Sky Uppercut for stab as well. I mean, I could go with that, but I don't know. Yeah, let's pair these two up. Hopefully, they'll be able to shore up each other's weaknesses. Grab an Earthquake TM over here in case you need it. I obviously don't. Alright, so I have the System Lever, but I gotta battle him first. I don't know where that voice came from. See, a lot of the good Pokemon are at the end, which I guess makes sense. There's a lot of Fire types that sit at Argyle, and I already have my Fire type. Well, for the most part, I have my Fire type. Oh boy, I did not think this one through! I need to double target that fucking Grumpig. I have no idea which hidden power I have, but let's figure it out. Nope, Thunderbolt didn't kill it. Hidden power, ground. Fuck. Okay, maybe not a good idea to do chain team switch-ups with a level 28 Breloom right off the bat here. Although you kind of suck, so I guess that wasn't really that big of a deal. Hit him. Blast you with Burst of Lightning. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in Japan it's actually, or in the Japanese dub, it's actually called Lightning Bolt, not Thunderbolt. Could be 100% wrong on that, though. Not sure. I should have been surprised that Giga Drain wouldn't have killed that thing. Even with Seadra's incredibly low special defense stat, it still wouldn't have killed it, considering the level difference. No, not Thunderbolt. Psychic. There we go. So my final members are kind of... I mean, I'm going to go with Arcanine over Houndoom. I've kind of made my mind up now. I'm going to go with Arcanine after I'm done with this video. I'm going to PK Hex everybody, purify them, and then give myself Arcanine. I'll probably do the same and give myself Tyranitar just so I have her. Sky Uppercut and Fire Punch. Oh, that's the wrong move! I was aiming at the wrong one. Oh well. I got distracted. Oh, really now? That's fair. Oh, lovely. I'm slower now. I should have... Oh, God. I never make these rookie mistakes. Oh, too bad for your fucking Sea King. It's dead. Damn, I've been getting crits with Gardevoir this whole match. But my final... I mean, 4 of my members have already been decided. Gardevoir, Vaporeon, Ampharos, and Arcanine. So the last 2 slots I can interchange with whatever I need to interchange it with. So I could go with... Well, the main option I'm looking at are Crobat, Aggron, Flygon, and Tyranitar. And I don't really think there's any other good fringe options I could choose besides them. Well, maybe Togetic, but Togetic is kind of crappy. As much as I have a bias towards it. Plus, I already made my Togetic level 100, so I'd have to re-change its level back to low again. Togetic also lacks hard-hitting moves, and it has no stab coverage, because normal and flying moves are both physical. Oh, goodness. Just kind of looking at the roster here. Ugh. Ursaring's an okay option, but no. I do need more physical attackers, so. But if I do go with Tyranitar, it's going to need special moves for coverage options. Otherwise, I'm just going to give it the generic moveset I usually give to rock types, which is Earthquake, Brick Break, Rock Slide, and, you know, something like, you know, some filler move. Which is kind of lame for Tyranitar because, I mean, you're limiting its options. Tyranitar does have an okay special attack stat. It's not great, but it's not bad. I've also thrown around the idea of using this guy's Shadow Pokemon, which is Shadow Arbok. I do kind of have a small soft spot for Arbok. Probably because the Dark Arbok card that I got when I was a little kid. Or Jesse's Arbok from the anime always going, Cha-baka! That noise is ingrained in my head like nobody's business. Arbok, though, is a pure poison type. Pure poison types have very bad offense and defense. They didn't really get popular. Actually, even pure poison types are very unpopular. I don't think there's ever been a single pure poison type in overused. I could be wrong on that, though. No, because Weezing has been an OU before. But it also has Levitate to make it immune to one of its biggest problems. Alright, so what am I thinking here, then? I'm gonna have to swap out for Vaporeon, just because this guy likes using Earthquake and Protect a lot. But he's the guy that has the Shadow Primate and the Shadow Hypno. Every time I think of Hypno, too, I can only think of those VCR tapes that my mom got me of the anime when I was a little kid. Just like, I think of both the Hypno episode, where the Hypno was hypnotizing, like, everybody, including Misty, where he made Misty think that she was a Magikarp. Or was it a seal? A seal. And then I also think of that episode of SpongeBob, where it's like, power within, power within. I don't know why I think about that, though. I haven't watched SpongeBob in a long time. You kind of grow out of those childish habits after a while. Also, for some reason, I turned like I'm Scottish for a second there. Who cares? I'm just having fun at this point. Now, his Ursaring might not go down with one hit, because I don't have any fighting moves on anybody right now, except for my Breloom. That's also another option I can entertain with Breloom. I mean, Breloom does, you know, have a really good attack stat of 130. So it wouldn't at all be a bad Pokemon choice. The problem I see with Breloom, though, is its weaknesses to common types. And it does kind of struggle a little bit against some Pokemon. Fire and Ice types especially, though. With its fighting stab, it can take care of Ice types, and with Rock Tomb and Hidden Power Ground, it can take care of Fire types. But again, it's the Fire, Rock, Ground, you know, or Fighting, Rock, and Ground combo that I always have. Whew. You know what? I think I'm gonna go... Shit. I mean, not literally, but... Decisions, man, decisions. I've always been an indecisive little fuck. You know what? I think I'm gonna go... I think I'm just gonna change all of the members that I just mentioned. Alter them the way I want them to, and then interchange them as I see fit. Because I don't think I can go with just a final static 6-member team slot right now. I'll just make sure everybody is at a decent level to where I can swap them out as the need arises. But for the most part, most of the battles in the Citadark Isle are going to be particularly about Shadow Pokemon captures. I mean, of course, there will be a couple of random battles in there, but it's mostly Shadows. And I don't know why, but I all of a sudden, for no explainable reason, got a craving for McDonald's French fries. Just the randomness that my brain comes up with when I'm just sitting doing something. Yeah, I'm definitely much... I really hope you guys don't hate me too much about the quality change, the video quality change. I really don't like doing that, but with how much performance improvement I've gotten in this video compared to the last couple ones, I'm going to have to keep it at this kind of a low quality setting. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get this Let's Play done in a decent amount of time. Because really, the thing that kept making me want to stop playing is the game kept going so damn slowly. I didn't want to continue because the game kept lagging and freezing on me. But if I do it at a low frame rate and a low fidelity level, it won't have that issue. But that actually will go ahead and do it for this video, guys. I'm going to head up here to the Pokemon Laboratory so that I can go ahead and purify the shadows that I have obtained from the last two videos, since I didn't purify anybody last video either. So what are we at now? I believe we're at 40-something? Yeah, 46 shadows. Okay, so I've got 15 shadows to purify, and maybe another team member or two to add to the team. I'm not sure yet. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any ideas whatsoever for future content, please leave suggestions in the comment section down below, or on my Twitter page, Zodyrus. The link will be in the description. And until next time, this has been ZDS. Thank you for fun one video at a time, and I will check you guys in the next episode.